Hello guys, and welcome back to Daddy Share Space. So today I'm coming to you with another unboxing. Let's go ahead and get right into it and open it up and see what we have inside. Okay, so taking a look inside the box, let's go ahead and turn it around. And this is what we have. All right, so here we have the Vertitas basic dowel maker in this box here. And then this right here is the dowel maker insert set. Together, this is known as the Vertitas dowel master set. So both of these combined make up the master set. So let's go ahead and open up the dowel maker first. I'm gonna set this to the side. All right, so you can take a look inside the box there. You can see what we have. Pulling out the components, you have a bag here that has some parts inside of it. We've got the actual dowel maker, and it seems to be made out of maybe some cast iron here. It's got a nice little weight to it. It's got the two blades installed. Okay, so it says the main body of this product is made from a cast aluminum alloy, which due to its small silicone deposits leaves a speckled anodized surface. Because these spots do not affect the product's performance, we opted not to find an alternative process, as this would have increased the price substantially and served no practical purpose. Okay, so basically they're saying that the way it looks, right, the finish doesn't look super premium, if you will. It's, in a way you could say it kind of looks a little bit, maybe it looks a little bit used, if you will. But I guess they're kind of upfront letting you know why it looks like this. You also get the instructions, which I'll go through before I actually fire this up. Let me finish opening the components that come with the actual basic dowel maker set. Okay, so aside from the dowel maker, which has all the settings for the dowel maker embedded here on the device, comes with an Allen key, a smaller Allen key. You've got a spanner wrench or wrench. It comes with it looks like a 3/8 socket that will go into your drill. You've got this socket here, which it's labeled as 1 1/8, so that's the size of this particular socket. As you can see, it'll go in like that. And then I have these two like bushing type devices here, which have a beveled edge that goes in, that wraps into the device. And then finally, in this piece of plastic, we've got a magnet. And this is just like a piece of, feels like metal. And it has a lip on one side with the magnet, and then on the other side, the lip is at a different distance. Both of these are utilized to set the blades of this device, which we'll go over later in the video. So for right now, we can see here the Allen key to tighten and loosen goes into these two, into here, and then also over here, the spanner or wrench, you use it to unlock this nut here, and then this nut over on this side. There are some numbers along the collar here on both protrusions here, which give you the ability to determine how the distance basically that the revolution. So at the top right here, you've got a 0, and then over here you have a 0 as well. And so when you're doing your revolutions, you'll start at the 0 and then rotate it all the way around to get it back to 0. That would be 1 revolution. So according to this, it tells you, like, if you're going to do a 1/4 inch dowel, you want the front blade to be at 0.1, and you want the rear blade to be at 0.1. And then for 1 inch, you would actually turn, this is going all the way to the opposite end of the scale, you want it at 11.2 revolutions, and then for the rear you want it at 7.5 revolutions. We'll make some dowels and all these different sizes, and we'll see how it actually all turns out. So now let's go ahead and open up the actual container that comes with it. Again, this is the Dowel Maker insert set. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's inside of here. So opening up the set. Oh, I opened it the wrong way. Let me turn it around the other side here. So the label is on one side, but when you open it, everything falls into the other side. So let's see if we can put everything back in place. Okay. So taking a look at the set here, it looks like we have a few openings on the set. If you take a look here, right off the bat, I see that I have 2 open areas here, and these, I would think, house both of these components. So it looks like everything will be able to be stored within this container. This magnetized piece, I believe, could go here, potentially. I'm just guessing here. And then it looks like this other socket, this 1 1/8 socket, fits right in here. And it appears I can just throw my wrenches, Allen wrenches in here, and along with the socket adapter. So everything looks like it'll close up nicely in the kit to be stored. Or actually, let me put the spanner wrench in there as well. It looks like that'll probably just sit flat there, or maybe it'll slide into this crevice here. And yeah, that'll shut, so you can store everything away here in the kit. So that's pretty cool, so you can keep everything together. This right here, I may have to, well, it's got 2 areas on here where you can actually mount it in the front and the back, or I guess on the left and the right is what it is, because you're actually gonna go in one direction and come out the other. So on the left and the right, you can bolt it down. I'll probably put this on a piece of plywood and then come up with some kind of mechanism to either fasten it to my MFT table or something like that, so that I can get this fired up and use it. All right, so turning this back over. Not sure why they put the label on the bottom side. Opening it back up, let's go over the contents. So here you have those original bushings that came in the regular set. And then here I have one of these, I would call it a tapered cylinder. This is a 7/8. Right here, we have a half inch. This one here is a 13/16. Let's see if these actually have labels on them. The first 2 do, oh, okay, this one is a 15/16, this one that I put in. And this one doesn't say, so this one doesn't have a marking, okay. So what we have is a 15/16 and a cylinder that does not have any kind of marking on it. Going back again, we've got a half inch, a 7/8. This right here is a 7/16. Right here, we've got a 13/16. We've got a 3/8, a 3/4, an 11/16, a 5/16, a 1/4 inch, a 5/8, and a 9/16. You'll have to cut your material down to different sizes in order to go through the different die. Let's call them dies. And so obviously the device comes with a 1 1/8, which will give you the ability, I guess, to cut the 1-inch dowel. And then here, you've got a 1-inch socket. Next, you have a 7/8 socket. And then you have a 3/4 socket. You've got a 5/8 socket, a 1/2 inch socket, and a 3/8 socket. So those are the different socket sizes. And then here we have these components, which once I read the book, we'll actually insert what they're actually called. And this actually, is this metal? It feels surprisingly light for what it is. So anyways, this first one here is 7/8 in size. We've got a 3/4 in size. We've got a 5/8, a 1/2, a 3/8, and a 1/4 inch. Of all of these, the 1/4 inch feels the most sturdy and robust. It seems as the diameter gets bigger so that they all fit within the device, it's a lot more hollowed out. So this one feels substantially lighter than the 1/4 inch. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say substantially. This one feels a little bit, this one feels almost plasticky, and this one feels like it's made of metal. I do believe all of them are made of metal. However, as I said, this one is hollowed out more. You can just look at the thickness there of the bore openings, and you can tell the difference there as far as how much more or less material each one has. Okay, so that's all that we have in the kit. So what we need to do is go ahead and read the directions, and once we read the directions, we'll get this all set up and we'll make a few dowels. So this right here is my Mafell Duo Dowel. Comes in this sustainer. Let's pull it out here. It's very similar to, well, basically it's a joinery machine. It's very similar to the Mafell Domino, except for it has two drill type cutters that make holes for dowels. So this Vertitas dowel making kit is going to be a great addition for this particular tool. The reason being, they'll work very well together. I can take any piece of scrap wood that I have here in the shop, cut it down to the proper square dimension, and then run it through the Vertitas dowel maker, and I can make dowels to be able to use with the device. So that's going to save quite a bit of money in the long run. Now, this particular Vertitas machine or tool, however you want to label it, is not cheap. So this master set, which I looked on Lee Valley's site the other day, and they're sold out until later in January. When I first caught wind of this particular device, it may have been a year or more ago, and when I saw it online, I saw that it wasn't available for sale, or it was close to when I bought my Mafell Dowler. Once I bought my Mafell Dowler, I was looking around for a local supplier to get consistent dowels for the machine, and I just wasn't able to find a place where I could consistently get them on a regular. So that's what made me turn to this device. I started to look up how I could make dowels. They make little plates, like metal plates, that you can actually, I guess, like pound wood through or drill wood through to do that. And there are plenty of DIY options that I've seen online. But this seemed to be the most robust and basically to be a device that can actually give me consistent results over a long period of time. So that's why I went ahead and broke down and purchased this particular kit. It's made in Canada, and yeah, so we will dive into this in just a bit.